we talk about adding context to connection requests, here's some sample messages that we want to look at. So one, always add a personal note that speaks to your specific experience with that person. So it might be something like, hey Bob, great speaking at the samsales networking event. Let's connect, right? So maybe you spoke at an event together. Maybe you were both at a panel together. Perhaps you both were speakers at the same event, but you didn't cross paths. That context is super key. Don't just assume that everyone already knows who you are. Also, take a look at the second one. Hey Jane, I see that we're both connected to Sue. Sue's an old colleague of mine. The reason I call this one out is because a lot of people will do, I see that we have some common connections, and you're like, what common connections? The more we make it look like something that was copied and pasted to me and 500 other people, the less likely we are not only to get that accepted, but to make a positive impact on that person. So be specific. It's not that we have several common connections, it's here's two specifically that we have and how I'm connected to them. That goes a long way, again, not only in getting that message accepted, but giving some kind of context and credibility to that person of who we are. Now, reference content, and again, don't be generic here. So number one, thanks for liking my post about samsales hacks for writing emails. I'd love to connect. So something like that, right? When I'm referencing specific content, I'm being specific. This is what you liked. This is what you engaged with. This is what I saw you commented on specifically. I'm being specific. And then the other piece, hi Sarah, I enjoy reading your posts about work-life balance. I'd love to see more. I also mention this because I get a ton of notes that say, love your podcast, would love to connect. Which podcasts? Again, that might be totally innocent and someone who genuinely loves my podcasts, but because it's so easy to see that as a generic message that they send to everybody that's on a podcast, it's going to be less likely that I'm going to accept that connection request. There are tons of people in this space that have tons of us on their podcast, so it's too easy to replicate. And imagine, let's say I get connection requests, 10 of them tomorrow, and it says, love your podcast, love your podcast, love your podcast. And then I get a connection request from you that says, loved you on Tequila Tuesday with Scott Leese, love this specific point, would love to connect and learn more. Yours is going to be not only the one that stands out, that most likely gets the acceptance, definitely gets the acceptance with that message, but also you're going to stand out in a positive way because you took the time to write something specific. So be specific. Now, last piece I would say here, never pitch in the first or the second message. There's a caveat, don't worry. But the whole idea for us to connect with somebody on LinkedIn, right, to send them a message, a specific message like this, and to get that new subscriber as we talked about earlier. Now, when are we allowed to pitch in that connection request? When we have already tried our work to try and get their attention the good old-fashioned way through smart emails. And I'm talking about smart emails, show me you know me, reference something with them that you know, be intelligent in this outreach. Now, when you've done that, you've gone the whole normal way, we want to bring in some social touches. But most AEs miss the mark with social touches, right? They just send a generic request or they'll comment randomly like cool article and that's it. So instead, specifically with your messaging here, think about how you can send a message that looks kind of like this. So if somebody was going to reach out to me, you might say something, or I might reach out to somebody. I might say, hi Bill, my name might look familiar to you as I've sent you a few emails and would love to chat about how samsales could help, could support company, whatever their company name is. If you're ever up for a chat, please do let me know. Now, I want you to think about this. I've tried the old-fashioned way. Would love to talk about how we can support you, right? And then let me know if you're ever up for a chat. I'm being very relaxed, very non-salesy, very human, very real, right? And I'm not overly aggressive with my remarks here. The thing that I love about this, the pro move here, is if somebody responds and they accept your connection request, whether they accept it with no response or they accept it with the thanks for saying hello response, again, no sign of them wanting a meeting. The really cool thing that you can do here is reply again, send a second message, and simply say, thank you so much for connecting, really looking forward to staying in touch. What's going to happen to your buyer when you do that is your buyer is going to see your second message pop up. They're going to instantly groan, thinking that you're trying to pitch them. And then they're going to see your light, casual, non-salesy message come through of, thanks for connecting, looking forward to staying in touch, come over. And they're going to be like, wait, this is weird. They didn't pitch me. And you're going to be like, just you wait, it's coming. But this is a really great way to just brand you with that person as the not overly aggressive, not salesy rep. Then they can go on a list in Navigator. You can keep tabs on what they're doing. You can go and comment on their content. Earn the right. You've tried over email, you got no response. You tried a social touch, you got an acceptance, but not a one for a meeting. So work for the meeting. The way not to do that is to be overly aggressive and pushy, but instead try and add value and earn that right in a different way instead.